Good evening and happy hump day, Seminoles. I'm student meteorologist Jay Carstens.
And I'm student meteorologist Leathe.
And welcome to the Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. We promised the cooler temperatures are on the way. We're going to have a little bit more on that later on in the show here. But for now, near record heat across the Big Bend region.
That is horrible. I mean, I don't want to sit here in the heat.
Yeah, you're a South Florida guy.
Yeah,
You're used to it.
I'm used to it, right? But I came here to get away from it.
Oh, yeah. Me too. We saw temperatures get up into those upper 80s today, much like we've had the last few days. And we're going to show you a little bit more about what's to come later on. A cold front, stronger than the last one.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we could use a little bit of rain around here. Not too much of that, but for those sun lovers out there, it's going to be a fantastic 7 days ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to that cold front. I'm looking forward to those 7 days ahead. I mean, I can't wait for those cold temperatures because that's what I came here for.
Absolutely. Of course, we're going to have more on all of that, as well as a brewing tropical system in the Atlantic. But for right now, we're going to get things started here with a local look. Lexi Birmingham out at the wall with a quick overview of the show.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Well, like you said, it has been a very hot day, as it has been the last couple of days. But right now, here is what our skies are looking like right now. This is all clear, not a cloud in the sky, but the clouds will move in as the day continues. But overall, it's just been very beautiful with that high pressure staying over us. We're just seeing really nice conditions. So currently right now, it is 86 in Tallahassee, 80 in Panama City, nothing but cloudy and sunshine across the south for most of the southeast. Because of that high pressure, it's just keeping all that moisture out of our way. Our satellite and radar looking very clear, looking very beautiful. So please take advantage of that beautiful weather. Go out and enjoy that beautiful sky because it's just going to be a really fun day for that. So for tonight, it'll be 62 in Tallahassee. Just another beautiful night. The dry air will be there and the temperatures will start to cool off. There will be a light wind and it'll vary as it goes through the night. But with the beautiful conditions, please go out and enjoy yourself. I have homework to do tonight, but for my sake, go out and do that for me. Please, I beg you. Please take advantage of that beautiful weather. So here are our weather headlines. Like Jake and Dylan mentioned, we are near record heat for today, especially for October. It has just been very, very hot. But this is what we're going to be talking about for most of the show. That cold front is coming this Friday, and we will start to see a drop in those temperatures. And maybe we'll see some 40s on the way. You'll find out as the show continues. But for now, listen it back to the desk.
Thank you, Lexi. Let's turn our attention away from the Big Bend region and into Europe. So this weekend, Europe is going to experience the Orionid meteor shower.
Yeah, something I've actually never seen before, but this is mostly going to be over Germany here. Debris left behind from Halley's Comet. We're going to be seeing as many as 25 meteors per hour at the peak of this meteor shower, mostly taking place tomorrow as well as Friday.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to come in Thursday and Friday. But the problem is there's that shower system kind of moving over Germany and kind of covering the sky for people to see.
Unfortunately, a lot of cloud cover and a lot of rainfall is in their picture. Weather conditions will be clearing out over those parts of Germany Saturday and Sunday, but views of this meteor shower could be restricted, so you're going to want to plan accordingly here. Really try to find the peak time, the best spot to get outside and check that out.
Definitely. I wish I could see that. It's something I've never experienced here.
I've actually never seen an eclipse either, so we have the big one coming next year. We were talking about it before the show. Really looking forward to that, but for now we have a more detailed look at our local picture. Back out to Lexi at the wall.
All right, thank you so much, Jake. Well, first we're going to start with the Wednesday weather picture. This was actually sent in to me by my very own brother, Andy Birmingham, so I thank him for this beautiful picture. This is actually taken just over England, just above the layer of clouds, but just look how beautiful that sun is. It was sunrise, so just really nice colors, just seeing what's going on over the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. But let's bring it back to Tallahassee. It is 86 degrees right now in Tallahassee with partly cloudy skies. Humidity is only at 40%. You can tell by my hair is actually sticking to my head today, and I definitely appreciate that. And we have a nice wind coming east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. So locally, it is 84 in Quincy, 86 in St. Mark's, a little bit cooler down in Apalachicola. They are seeing more sea breeze, so they're staying a little bit cooler than we are. But again, temperatures have just been super hot across the Big Bend region. So our current dew points, 59 in Tallahassee, 61 in St. Mark's. Again, much higher down in Apalachicola and Carabel. So we are still in that uncomfortable range for dew points. But once that cold front moves in, we will start to see those dew points start to drop. So here are our main features right now. Here's the high pressure that has been keeping the clouds away. It's about sitting just to the east of Dothan and the border of Alabama and Georgia, so that's what's keeping our clouds away. But here is a feature we really want to talk about. Here's that stationary front. It's pretty much just sitting there and moving slowly towards the southeast with moisture right behind it. But what you don't see is a cold front sitting in the northern plains, and that's actually, this cold front is going to move in and push the stationary front down, and that's when we'll see our nice cool temperatures that we are definitely looking forward to. So here is our futurecast for the next couple of days. As we move into Thursday morning, you can see conditions will be very clear and very nice, but now referring back to my friend Jordan, who likes to play spot the front, here's that front that's going to move in, and all this moisture is right behind it. But as we move into Friday, the moisture is going to move away because the dry air from that high pressure is just going to cause it to dissipate. So we won't be seeing any rain chances, but just look at how beautiful that weather is. And we'll see those future temperatures in just 1 second. But for tonight, it'll be 62. Another beautiful night. Nice cool temperatures, dry air, maybe a light wind, so please go out and enjoy yourself. It's going to be a really nice day. But Thursday, the temperature will start to fire up once again, 88, mostly cloudy skies, and we will start to be near, again, that record high once again. So if you don't have plans for tomorrow, maybe you want to go to the beach. Winds will be out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, but the UV index will be very high, so please make sure you wear that sunscreen. So here's our 5-day outlook. 88 is the hot spot for the week. Friday, you can see those temperatures start to drop off, and just look at Saturday and Sunday sitting in the mid to upper 70s. But look at Sunday night sitting at, you're going to feel like 47 degrees. But for now, Jordan, take it away with the southeast.
Thanks so much, Lexi. Current temperatures around the majority of the southeast. It's been very hot and very sticky, as a matter of fact. 86 degrees right now in Tallahassee. Montgomery actually hitting 90 degrees right now. Even this late in the evening, we're seeing temperatures quite high all around. 86 in Atlanta and 89 in Tupelo. You could start to see up north there, you see some spots of yellow, and that is because of the cold front that we are going to expect to see in the next coming days. Current dew points around, we've seen worse, but it's still a little bit muggy outside. Current dew point sitting about 59 degrees in Tallahassee. The farther south you go, the more icky sticky it gets. 61 Orlando, 67 in Miami, 57 up in Atlanta, and those dew points will start to drop off, especially when that cold front does move through our region. 24-hour temperature change, not much to speak about, especially for our region. We've dropped about 1 degree in the past 24 hours for Tallahassee, about -2 in Savannah. Wilmington looking at no change whatsoever. Shreveport being actually the big cool down at about, they've dropped about 9 degrees, but not much around the current southeast. We do have that high pressure system that Lexi was referring to, and that is influencing our wind direction. We do have that high pressure system sitting right at the Georgia and Alabama line, and that is creating a clockwise rotation, especially in our winds. We do have winds about 10 miles per hour out of Tallahassee, and we do have about 8 out of Montgomery and 5 in Atlanta, and that is creating that clockwise flow that you can see represented by those arrows. Current satellite and radar, not much to talk about. A couple of sea breeze showers off to the east coast of Florida, and even some starting to pick up in New Orleans, but there's not much to talk about. Here we are going to go ahead into the U.S. Drought Monitor. You can start to see right where those blotchy browns and reds are. It is very expected for very dry conditions. So be sure, if you do have family up there, tell them to conserve water. Be sure keep the tap off, and especially be careful. Futurecast rainfall, it's going to stay dry for the majority of the region. I'll put this in the motion for you. This is throughout Wednesday night into your Thursday morning. You start to see a little bit of shower spots popping up out to the far southeast, and that is due to the cold front, but not much otherwise expected throughout the rest of the couple of days. So that will move in, but not cause a whole lot of rain. We're expecting actually no chances of rain because this cold front is not bringing a significant amount of moisture. Tonight we're looking about 60 degrees in Tallahassee, 61 Savannah, and 67 in Orlando. Tomorrow, Sunshine State, that is the word of it. 89 degrees, probably near record high temperatures tomorrow expected for Tallahassee. 86 in Orlando and 86 in Miami. But for now, let's go ahead and take it back to the desk with Jake.
Thanks a lot, Jordan. Here we are. We're going to actually get back out to you in a second with our tropical update. And with that being said here, We're entering the tail end of the season. Of course, Atlantic hurricane season ends on November 30th. We're entering late October right now, and with that, we actually have no active storms out there. So what we wanted to do really quick is give you a recap of what was really a historic and forecast-defying storm in Hurricane Nicole, which has recently gone extratropical here. The system formed all the way back on October 4th near Bermuda and essentially stayed stationary for about a week and a half, or about a week or so, before eventually strengthening as it moved its way back up towards Bermuda. The interaction, of course, between Nicole and Matthew was a very interesting experience, to say the least, but it strengthened into a Category 4 hurricane despite being in environments of extremely high wind shear. Impacted Bermuda, made direct landfall over the island on October 13th as a Category 3 hurricane, and eventually moved its way up and remained as a hurricane until about 2 days ago here, where it eventually dissipated and again has since reached its extratropical status here. So with that being said, Nicole's lifespan was about 2 weeks long here, which is the third longest lived Atlantic hurricane since of the 2010s decade. So again, a historic storm, and hopefully one of the last we're going to be seeing for now, but we're going to look at one more system brewing out in the Atlantic where Jordan is standing by right now.
Thanks so much, Jake. We are going to keep our eye. We do have actually a couple of systems, especially out in the Pacific. We have 3 disturbances right now, and these percentages are actually showing you the percent chance of development over the next 5 days. Out here, we have about a 10% chance of development as that infrared imagery does come into our view. Not much to expect for us whatsoever. Even this one right here, about 30% chance of development over the next 5 days. No significant impact to the coastal United States or even to parts of Central America. This system over here, about 40% as well. For Atlantic hurricane season 2016, we know Hermine that struck us earlier last month. We have Matthew, the historic Category 5 hurricane, and Nicole, which has gone and left us, but luckily no severe impact from her. We do have Otto, and that will be possibly our next name because we are expecting one of our systems to develop. We do have about an 80% chance over the next couple days. Hurricane climatology for October, this is exactly where we expect it to form, just north of the Caribbean Sea. And here it is. We have the center of the storm right here. We have very strong wind shear out of the west, and that is keeping the system and the clouds away from the center. But it does have an 80% chance of development and is expected to move northward out of our way, and we're not expecting it to impact us anytime soon. But for now, let's go ahead and take it out to an outdoors and events with Jake.
All right, thanks a lot, Jordan. Florida State football is on the bye week here, so we're just going to go a bit of a random pool here with the ACC schools. Here's our weather stem camera from Virginia Tech University over on the west side of the state in Blacksburg. Yesterday, they reached a high of 78 degrees, nearing record heat in those areas in the mid-Atlantic as well. Today's high at 81 degrees. You're even going to see some fog in this image as the morning goes on. Clear skies throughout the day there, as that frontal system hadn't exactly made its way over there quite yet. We're looking at rain chances over in Virginia in the next few days or so. Before we go back into a local look of things, we wanted to preview Thursday Night Football. Consider it Jake's biased forecast here because my Bears are taking on Green Bay in Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, of course one of the best venues in the NFL. Tomorrow, kickoff at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 Central for those in Wisconsin. We're looking at a temperature of 46 degrees. They're used to it up there. Partly cloudy skies, so looking like a pretty good night to watch some football if you are looking to get out, of course, to that game there. Looking forward to a good one there. Always one of the most heated rivalries in the NFL. Here's the golf index. I'm very cynical about it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 just because of the fact that conditions have been so dry lately. Those greens are going to be really fast, really rolling a lot out there, and it's pretty tricky to judge your speeds on the greens. Regardless, mostly sunny skies, a little bit on the warm side with temperatures getting up into the upper 80s, but the breeze is light, and it'll be a really good day to get out there, as long as you come prepared, of course. Here's your boating forecast if you want to get out on the water. Winds out of the northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Waves are less than 2 feet. A light chop on the waters, but again, mostly sunny skies, much like we have inland here in Tallahassee. Prepare for the UV index. We're calling for an 8 here. Very high risk of sunburn. Of course, you're going to want to come prepared for that. And even as we get into the winter months, you'll still be seeing medium to high risks for sunburn in a lot of cases. Here's our sports headlines for you. Of course, tennis is going to be participating in the Southeastern Regional Championships. The men are Thursday in Tallahassee. The women are Friday in Gainesville. Softball takes on UF Saturday in Fort Lauderdale, and soccer is going to be taking on Louisville on Sunday, as well as a game tomorrow night against Duke. Sunny to really clear skies for all of those activities, so for those of us in Tallahassee who want to come out to some of those games, it is looking like a fantastic time to get out and do so. Here's the 5 days ahead. Again, Friday, 81 degrees where that cold front makes its way through. Saturday looking like the most gorgeous day of all, 75 degrees. You can see a bit of a strong breeze there, but the temperatures are the big picture here. Lots of sun and lots of comfortable temperatures. So here we're going to take it out to Lexi now with an expanded look at the rest of the country.
All right, thank you so much, Jake. Well, currently right now across the country, it looks like the southeast and even parts of Texas are the hotspots right now. 90 in Dallas, 88 in New Orleans, 85 in Memphis, where it's the complete opposite near the northwest, 59 in Denver and 55 in Salt Lake. So lots of varying temperatures across the country. Well, the west is looking pretty dry, only dew point at only 13.9 in Albuquerque, so they're feeling a lot of dry air right now. But as for us, we're a little bit more uncomfortable, 67 in Memphis, 70 in New Orleans. We're just having a little bit more moisture that's just picking up those dew points for us, whereas the west is not seeing as much as we are. So over the past 24 hours, there was a 5-degree drop in Denver, 4 in Salt Lake City, not much in Seattle. But look at Boston. They warmed up by 15 degrees in the last 24 hours. So they got to warm up just a little bit. Maybe not as much as what we're feeling right now, but definitely warm for that time of the year, especially for Boston. So here are our features once again across the map. Here's that stationary front I mentioned earlier with some moisture sitting behind it. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But here's what you didn't see before when I mentioned this cold front earlier. It is just sitting up here across Nebraska and Iowa going up into Wisconsin. And this cold front is just going to push down because cold fronts move faster than stationary fronts. Keep that in mind. So it's just going to push the stationary front much faster into the southeast. So by Friday, we will start to see that cooler temperatures like I mentioned before. Not too many watches or warnings across the country. Denver and even parts of Utah are seeing some freeze warnings, but the big story right now is the severe thunderstorm watch that is sitting in southern Missouri. So they're the only ones seeing mostly severe weather as of right now, but let's go ahead and zoom in to see what's going on right now. So here are these clusters of storms just moving along the stationary front I mentioned earlier. They're just kind of sitting there, but slowly moving off towards the northeast. But luckily for us, when that cold front pushes that stationary front, the moisture will dissipate and we will be free of that rain. So here's our futurecast rainfall. Not too much going on in Kansas City or Dallas. San Antonio seeing about 0.1 inches of rain, but I want you guys to watch Detroit. Let's take a look at with the storms and everything, what's going to happen to Detroit. Those rain inches are going to increase. So by Thursday 8 a.m., they'll receive about half an inch of rain. Memphis about 0.3 inches of rain, if I can get my numbers right. But look by Friday morning, Detroit almost reaching 1 inch of rain, and even parts of Memphis and Dallas looking like an increase in rain chance as well at 0.3 inches. But for us in the southeast, it will stay pretty much dry throughout the majority of the rest of the week. So for tonight, 62 in Dallas. Look at these temperatures up in the northwest, 30 in Denver and 30 in Salt Lake City. But for tomorrow, it's just going to be beautiful across the country and much, much more. But for now, Jordan's sitting at the desk with standby.
Thanks so much, Lexi. Let's take it back about 11 years to 2005, where we had Hurricane Wilma, one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes on record. It strengthened today, back in 2005, to a Category 5 hurricane with maximum sustained winds at 185 miles per hour, a very catastrophic storm at that. It had the lowest pressure in Atlantic history. The lower the pressure, the worse the weather, as it had a pressure reading at about 886 millibars. And normally normal pressures are about 1,013 millibars, so a significant difference with this storm. It actually produced about 87 total fatalities with this storm, which is actually a surprise because we expect a lot more. Hurricane Matthew had over 1,000 at that rate. It cost about $29.4 billion in damages, and that is to the United States as well as parts of Mexico and even the Caribbean, where it had impacted them. It is actually the strongest hurricane ever recorded until Hurricane Patricia, which we actually covered back in 2015. And is also known to keep the record as the fastest intensifying storm, increasing about 100 miles per hour over the course of 24 hours. But for now, let's take it out to Jake with a look around Florida.
Thanks a lot, Jordan. Luckily for us, the Sunshine State is living up to its name. Kind of sounding like a broken record out there, but the sunshine is here to stay. 81 degrees in Orlando, 86 in Tampa right now. Clear to partly cloudy skies throughout much of the state. A little bit more cloud cover, of course, in South Florida. They like to be stubborn down there. Temperatures in the 80s pretty much the entire year over there. Current dew points are in the 60s throughout much of the state, so not as much surface moisture as they're accustomed to seeing from time to time. However, you still feel a little bit of humidity, especially in South Florida, if you're going to take a run outside, do any kind of athletic activity out there. The further north you go, the more comfortable it's getting, as evidenced by the 59-degree dew point right here in Tallahassee. You factor in the humidity and the temperatures, and you get a heat index, and with the fact that the surface moisture has not been as high as you would sometimes expect for Florida, these haven't been too high either. We haven't even really cracked 90, although earlier in the day we did have some areas that did feel like over 90 degrees. 87 is what it feels like currently in Miami, 82 in Orlando, and 80 in Jacksonville. Again, an evidence that the humidity is not really there because of that high pressure system driving in these northeasterly winds. Again, it's centered right in between Georgia and Alabama as of this time, with a wind at 16 miles per hour in West Palm Beach, 12 in Miami, 9 in Orlando. With that, a lot of these breezes coming off of the east tend to enhance the sea breeze effect, particularly in South Florida, which can drive in some light showers and thunderstorms. However, what we're going to be seeing here is at the upper levels of the atmosphere, the air is extremely dry, so you're not really seeing much of that, nothing more than some scattered cloud cover throughout the entirety of the state here. The further south you go here, the drier the air gets at the upper levels. So again, big reason why we're seeing so much sunshine across Florida today. Here's a satellite and radar look. You'll see a couple of showers just ever so slightly trying to creep their way in, even some high clouds more than anything. But again, a beautiful day for everybody from Pensacola down to Jacksonville, all the way down to Miami and in the Florida Keys. So a pretty good beach day and a pretty good beach week ahead for those of you down there who want to get out. Anybody heading out of Tallahassee for a little bit, trying to get a quick vacation in here. Midterms are crazy. We know. We understand. Here's the Futurecast radar look for you, and it's looking like a fantastic night ahead for most of us, although we could see some showers start to push their way in Thursday morning in parts of South Florida from, say, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, down to the Miami metropolitan area. Thursday, again, a mostly dry day across the remainder of the state. You actually see some of the moisture from our little tropical disturbance off to the east, but that's not really going to have any kind of impact on Florida. That front that's moving its way through here actually going to be steering that system away from the United States, so it's looking like a pretty calm picture there. And again, Friday, as the front moves its way through, looking like a pretty good day as that upper level dry air is keeping things pretty good for the rest of us here in the state. For tonight's forecast, the further south you go, the warmer it gets. Like always, 75 degrees in West Palm Beach, 67 in Orlando, 61 degrees in Jacksonville. Nice and comfortable there. And for tomorrow, the sunshine sticks around. 86 in Orlando, 83 in Jacksonville, and 89 degrees right here in the capital city. So for now, we're going to take it back to the desk where Lexi and Jordan are standing by.
All right, thank you so much, Jake. Well, Jordan, I have a question for you. Do you like puppies?
I love puppies. Making me miss my dog now.
Aw, I'm sorry. Well, the reason why I ask is because tomorrow on Landis Green from 5 to 6:30, there's going to be a puppy spooktacular.
Puppy spooktacular?
Yes, it's run by the Coping with College program that is here because we all get stressed sometimes, and and they're actually going to bring in some therapy dogs. So if you want to go out there and maybe pet some puppies, I recommend you go out there.
Oh wow! Could you bring your own dog if you wanted to?
Yeah, I think so because there is a pet costume contest that
Oh,
you can enter
wow.
your dog in.
I can't wait to go and see that.
And there's going to be free food, and there's even going to be a little art center. So if you want to be creative, you can go there.
Wow, because Landis Green is always full of animals of every kind, dogs, cats, even goats sometimes. And
I've actually never seen a goat, but
I have. It was kind of interesting. But for now, let's go ahead and take it out to Dylan. He has more for us on our local.
Thank you, Lexi. Thank you, Jordan. Let's take a look at today's almanac. So currently, today it was high of 88, low of 61. But that average, we're sitting much above that average with a 7-degree temperature. 81 is the average, 56 is the low. But look at that record. We were very close to that record in 2006. But that low record, 36, I'm kind of jealous. I wish I experienced that 36-degree temperature, but obviously we can't. Current temperatures right now, you can see in Apalachicola and Carabel, you can see those colder climates around the coast, much warmer in Tallahassee and Thomasville, Monticello. Just normal stuff, you know, cooler on the coast with that ocean breeze, but much warmer in the center. Current relative humidity, we're sitting at 40 right now. Very little water vapor in that air right now, which is very nice. Makes for a dry heat though, that's the problem. It's better than a moist heat. You don't really want that like moist, sticky, icky feeling. But you can see in Apalachicola and Carabel, you see that moisture kind of sit there because it's close to that coast. Looking at those current winds, you can see that clockwise motion because we have the area of high pressure sitting just above us. You can see Tallahassee, Bainbridge, and Thomasville all pointing to the northwest because we're sitting at that bottom part of that high pressure, just pushing it that way, and you can see that. Current satellite and radar, nothing much. I mean, a few showers off Pensacola, but just nothing much. We're sitting very nice. You've been outside. We didn't see much rain today. We didn't see any rain, actually, now that I speak of it. But, like, it's a very nice day, and I'm glad to enjoy this weather. Futurecast winds and temperature. You can see right now that wind's kind of just all over the place, but you can see that flow, and you see that area of high pressure take it. But as we move into Thursday and Friday, you can see that front that we've been talking about all show come in and move those winds down and intensify them. There is a chance Thursday and Friday for small craft advisory down in the coast. So, you know, be careful if you're there. But, you know, those wind speeds are going to pick up later in the week because of that cold front coming through. Tonight's forecast, still cool, cool like we like. You can see 62 in Quincy, 62 in Tallahassee. So it's been very nice. Another beautiful night, you know, always great. As we move into Thursday's forecast, you can see another hot day. But don't worry because that cold front's going to come through and bring in those cool temperatures. As I'm going to show you on the, planning your Thursday, you know, it's another perfect morning run, you know, that cool 60-degree temperature. But then as we get into later in the day, those temperatures build up to 82 and 86. You just don't want that. But let's look at that 7-day. This is beautiful. You can see we start off kind of warm, but we're starting to dip. You see 75 as the high on Saturday. That is beautiful. I love 75, much better than this heat. I came here, like I said earlier, for this cool temperatures. And you see 52 and 47. Those are beautiful temperatures. I am so glad. I'm ready for the winter. But now let's take it back to the desk with Lexi and Jordan to wrap up the show.
Thanks so much, Dylan. I think we're all looking forward to those temperatures because I did the same thing. I'm from Tampa, and it's actually, they're not even going to hit the 40s, or maybe even like some lower 50s, but that's about it for them. But
yeah, I love seeing those lows of 48 and 47. I may have to go in my closet and brush out some heavy sweaters
yes.
that have been dusting in my closet for the past couple months.
Might have to turn on the heat in your car.
That is true, yes.
Especially with that wind, too. Probably have even a wind chill factor, especially because that cold front does bring a lot of wind into our region.
It's just going to be a beautiful weekend, so go out, go hiking, go to the beach, just take advantage of that beautiful weather because the temperatures will start to get a bit cooler and we won't be able to do as much.
Or even join us at the beach cleanup for Jacksonville at the AMS.
That's right. We are going to Jacksonville to help up with a beach cleanup in Jacksonville, you know, because that's a big Hurricane Matthew spot.
Yes, but of course, if you always want to like us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/FSU Weather, even follow us on our Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather. We're always taking viewer photos as well, so send those to our Instagram, FSU Weather, and always watch us on live stream too. And even like your brother can send us more photos. So he follows us on our.
Yes, I will keep asking them to send me those pictures.
Yes, yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous, and it looks to be an absolutely great week ahead. Starting with 70s and clear skies, and even 40s for the lows.
I know it's going to be one awesome weekend, but we still have to get through Thursday and Friday. But that's when the cold front comes in and the temperatures begin to drop off.
Yeah, but for now, let's have a good night.